because, as my parents call me, their rebel child, or their hard-headed one. Since I was that one, I would always dare to poke the bear, or drink out of the water fountain that said white, as opposed to the colored water fountain, because I wanted to know if the water tasted the same. I was that person that, my dad was in the military, and so we traveled a lot when he was stationed at different bases. And we always had to pack like maybe sardines or gallina sausages and crackers because we could stop for gas, but we could never stop for snacks or anything like that. So we always ate on the move. And we had to, in traveling, we couldn't use the restrooms. We had to wait until Dad filled up, and there were no self-serve stations during that time. They were all full serve. We would have to wait until Dad got further down the road, and he would let us girls out. Didn't have any brothers, and we would all, Mom, Dad, we'd all go in the bushes. Well, there was an opportunity when I saw that the person that was pumping gas wasn't paying any attention, and Mom and Dad was in the front seat and they were having some type of a conversation. I think I might have been maybe 7 or 8. I kind of eased out the back door. I had to see what it was like to use the restroom at the service station, and so I did. Needless to say that my sister read it on me. Anyhow, just so you know, the water tasted the same in the white water fountains as it did in the colored water fountains. And I am now, and have been for almost 60 years, a dedicated activist on any and all fronts, whenever and wherever there are injustices and violations of any civil rights. I am a child crusader from Birmingham, Alabama. And just to differentiate between the child crusaders and the foot soldiers, the child crusaders were the kids that were possibly maybe 4 to maybe 14, and the foot soldiers were 15 and up, high schoolers. I was a child crusader. Like so many others, I have faced racism, profiling, bigotry, and hate. And I'm not talking about this in the past tense. I'm talking about right now. This continues today. It's not a good feeling. It's not a good feeling. I first became aware at the age of 11 years old. The civil rights movement in the South was very unstable. And in the 50s and 60s, at times, it was also very, very violent. I can remember as a child occasionally hearing bombs going off. I can remember my mom and dad, when one of those bombs had gone off, saying that that was Reverend Fred Shuttlesworth's home that had been bombed. That was not too far from where we lived, and not too far from where Angela Davis's home was. We were all in the same neighborhood. So that's why you may hear people call Birmingham Birmingham, because there were so many bombs that were going on. Well, growing up in Birmingham, Alabama, as a little girl, I felt compelled to participate on the right side of history as a child crusader. Against my parents' wishes and without their knowledge. Like I said, I'm that rebel, that hard-headed one. Because, you see, my parents were afraid for me and my sisters. They knew what happened to little black boys and little black girls, especially in the dark of night. Back then, when my parents were told by their parents to be in before dark, had a different meaning than when we tell our kids today, you better be in here before the street lights come on, otherwise you're in trouble. So our parents told us the same thing, be in before dark. Because they knew that little black girls and little black boys went missing. Because that's how the KKK practiced their lynching skills. I know that may be hard for some of you all to hear, but it's true. And these are things that we need to talk about. Just like people don't want to hear about CRT. These are things that are true. So, against my parents' wishes, in May of 1963, at the age of 11, me and several of my classmates skipped school. And we went downtown Birmingham to the Kelly Ingram Park, which was directly across the street from the 16th Street Baptist Church. We just wanted to know what everything was about. We always heard about the marches and the protests, and we wanted to go and find out. Not realizing exactly what was going to happen. Being such a little tiny scrawny thing, I never in my life saw so many people in one place. It was so exciting. It was so exciting. Didn't realize at that time exactly what was going on and that I was going to be a part of history. So we went there to actually march against injustice and demand equal rights, including voting rights. On the same grounds where Congressman John Lewis and Dr. Martin Luther King had also marched and protested. Right there in the very park, Kelly Ingram Park. We were met by the chief of police at that time. His name was Eugene Connor, or as they called him, Eugene Will Connor. When we little kids knew anything, we were put upon by police dogs and fire hoses and police batons. Didn't realize why or what was going on, but that's what happened. And we were arrested. Yeah, that's right, I got arrested at the age of 11 years old. But that ugliness really hit close to home a few weeks after that. When one of my, I'm so sorry. I'm still traumatized. When one of my neighborhood acquaintances, Denise McNair, she was 11 years old, just as I was. And she was murdered in the 16th Street Baptist Church bombing. I was there, and I remain to this day traumatized, just trying to wrap my head around, why do you hate me so much? I'm just an 11-year-old child. Why do you want to murder us? What did we do that's so terrible that you want to wipe us out? Not including dozens of protests and rallies and marches, I have participated in some capacity at every level for justice, rights, and equality since 1963, including numerous voting rights marches across the Atlantic. That's great.